All right, let's talk about something that's probably keeping you up at night if you're a real estate broker: recruiting. You know it's the engine for your growth, but for a lot of folks, that engine is just sputtering. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the tool that's supposed to fix all that: the real estate recruiting CRM. But first, a quick gut check. Think about your recruiting process right now. Are you swimming in spreadsheets, sticky notes, and like a million different text threads? If you're nodding along, then you've probably got a classic leaky bucket problem. You're putting in all this effort to find great agents, and they're just slipping through the cracks. And this right here, this is the heart of the problem. When everything's manual and all over the place, you are absolutely missing out. You know that awesome agent you had a great coffee with 3 months ago? Yeah, they're probably a distant memory. That follow-up you swore you'd make last week? It just never happened. This chaos isn't just messy. It's actively costing you money and growth. So let's frame this up. What we're really talking about is the recruiting challenge. It's this massive hurdle of building a recruiting pipeline that's not just consistent, but also scalable. And honestly, it's one of the biggest things every single brokerage struggles with. And the stakes here are incredibly high. Recruiting isn't just some side task you get to when you have time. It is the absolute lifeblood of your business. Without that steady flow of new talent walking in the door, your brokerage doesn't just slow down. It hits a brick wall. Growth completely stalls. That's why getting proactive about this is a non-negotiable. So, how do we plug the leaks in that bucket? How do we finally bring some order to all that chaos? Well, that leads us right to the modern fix, the CRM. This is the tool that's designed to take you from total chaos to total control. So what is this thing really? At its core, a real estate recruiting CRM is basically your mission control. It's software built specifically to manage the entire journey of a potential agent, from the very first moment you hear about them all the way to the day they sign on with your team. Now, here's a super important point that trips a lot of people up. A CRM is not the same as an ATS, an applicant tracking system. An ATS is for hiring W-2 employees. It's all about managing resumes and job applications. But you don't hire agents like that, right? You attract them, you build relationships, and that's exactly what a CRM, a customer relationship management tool, is built for. It's about the relationship, not the application. So what's in it for you? What do you actually get? Well, for starters, you get organized. Every single prospect, all their info, all your conversations, it's all in one place. Second, you get consistency because you can automate emails and texts so nothing ever gets missed. And maybe most importantly, you can actually measure what's working and what's not. You can finally stop guessing and start making smart, data-driven decisions. And if you're out there shopping for one, these are the non-negotiables. You need a visual pipeline so you can see where everyone is at a glance. You gotta have automation tools to do the heavy lifting for you. And for sure, you need solid reporting, because a decision based on data is always, always better than a shot in the dark. The good news is you've got options. There are some real heavy hitters out there. You've got all-in-one platforms like HubSpot, dedicated recruiting tools like Zoho Recruit and Recruiter Flow, and even super visual ones like Pipedrive. The trick is just finding the one that really clicks with how your brokerage works. But hold on. Before you run off and click buy now on a new subscription, I want you to really let this sink in. A CRM is only as good as the strategy behind it. This is where the whole story takes a sharp turn, because the tool itself, no matter how shiny and powerful it is never the whole solution. And that brings us to the hidden catch. It's this constant battle between having the tool and having the right strategy to actually use it. And let me tell you, this is where most brokers completely stumble. I mean, it's such a tempting idea, isn't it? You drop some cash on a fancy, state-of-the-art CRM, and poof, all your recruiting problems just magically disappear. Yeah, if only it were that easy. We all know that's not how it works. And right here, this is the single biggest mistake people make. They think the CRM is going to do the recruiting for them, but it can't. A CRM is a passive tool. It's a fantastic organizer. It's a brilliant librarian. But it doesn't pick up the phone and have a real human conversation. It doesn't build the trust and relationships that are the absolute core of recruiting. And this leads to a list of failures you could set your watch to. Brokers buy the expensive software, but they have no game plan. They never actually set up the powerful automations that could save them hours. They don't track any of the numbers, so they have no clue if it's even working. It's like buying a Ferrari and then leaving it in the garage with no gas and no map. Okay, so if the technology by itself isn't the silver bullet, then what is?
Well, let's talk about the real solution, combining that powerful tech with a genuine human touch. Think about it like this. Your CRM is the sleek, perfectly designed chassis of a race car. It looks amazing, but it's not going anywhere on its own. It needs an engine, an execution partner, a team that does the active, day-to-day work of recruiting. That is the engine. They're the ones who provide the strategy, the fuel, and the horsepower to make it go. And here's where the model can get really interesting, even a little disruptive. Some partners out there, like MNKY Agency, work on a pure performance model. And their model starts with this number right here, $0 upfront. The other side of that coin is this. You only pay for one thing, results. With their model, you pay a small fee per closed transaction from an agent they brought to you. So if they don't deliver agents who are actually closing deals, you don't pay a dime. The financial risk for you is completely gone. Let's just break this down real simple. The CRM on its own, it handles the organization and the automation. But a partner like MNK Agency, they add that whole strategic layer on top. They create the plan, they run the campaigns, and this is the big one, they handle the actual human follow-up. It's the difference between just owning a tool and having a complete working system. Okay, so you get the problem, you see the solution. How do you actually put all of this into practice? Let's walk through a quick and easy playbook to get you started. It's actually pretty straightforward. Step 1, figure out your goals and pick the right CRM. Step 2, set it up to match your process and get all your leads in there. Step 3, build out those awesome automations that'll save you a ton of time. Step 4, train your people and obsess over the numbers. And then step 5, the real game changer, pair that powerful tool with an execution partner to really light a fire under the whole system. And that leaves us with one final big question for you to chew on. Take a hard look at what you're doing for recruiting right now. Do you just have a tool, a piece of software that's just sitting there waiting for you to do all the work? Or do you have a complete solution, a combination of tech and strategy that is actively, predictably, and consistently growing your brokerage? Because the difference between those two things, well, it's everything.